Well, thank you very much. Thank you for that kind introduction. It's hard when I'm with such distinguished people, especially Carlos Alberto Montaner, which I must say, I was a teenager when I first met him, and I worked for his brother and at a window shade company, and we go back, and I know all his kids. So anyway, Jose, Joe. I first met Jose when I was editorial page editor for the Miami Herald. So really, this book, por nada. Thanks to me, I got him to write. He was very interested in writing, and I was looking for distinctive voices. I thought the Miami Herald editorial pages were predominantly liberal, and I wanted to bring in different voices that were more centrist and conservative. And sure enough, he delivered, not from a conservative point of view necessarily, but from his very special point of view as a very independent thinker. And we, as an editor for him, I'm sorry, I should have turned this off and someone's calling, so let me shut this down. Oh, it's my son. Well, I love you too.
Trump is going to end the Obama concessions.
Oh, finally! No, it's my son calling me. So when I first started to edit Joe, he's giving me these, he wants to write 1,500 words, which we soon learned ain't going to happen. So I tell him 700. He delivers, and I start having these conversations. I want you to be more chatty. I want you to, reach out to people, because not everyone has all your distinguished education and life experience. You want to be able to connect in a more direct way. And he kept coming back to George Will. He wanted to be the George Will of the Hispanic George Will, ¿verdad? So we kept going back and forth, and sure enough, he kept getting published. And then he would send me stuff. Oh, look, the Wall Street Journal published me. They're okay with my voice. What's their problem? So as we grew back and forth with his columns, what I like about reading his work, and I don't have to read his book because I pretty much read all his columns already, is the integrity of his thinking. And it's very interesting because we do have differences. For instance, I'm socially liberal on many things, but it actually kind of falls into but I'm fiscally conservative. I don't, I think taxes and a bunch of freedoms that come with, imposition of things. But our big difference is minimum wage. And I think that's where he and I would have good discussions about. He feels very strongly that there shouldn't be no minimum wage, that we should all, the market will bear what your value is, and you fight for it. And my point is, well, you need a minimum floor, because if not, you will continue to experience what we have seen in the last few decades, which is a big rift between the very rich and the very poor. He, of course, is in Montana in his nice home, and he doesn't care about that. I will say that he is, to me, a very good friend, but I think most of all, he has taught me to think even more critically. And I thought, I had been in an editorial board for 18 years in Orlando, so it wasn't like I had not been taught to have conversations that were with people from the right and the left. We had a 10-member board, so there was a lot of discussion, and it was good discussion. But he really keeps to, if you go through each step, he's very disciplined in how he arrives at his conclusion. And I think that's the beauty of his writing, that it doesn't have to be long, and it's not. Most of these you can read, like that. But you come away thinking, I hadn't thought about it that way. And I think that's the beauty of what Jose does. So thank you so much for having given me the opportunity to have learned from you. Thank you.
Thank you.